Sub-branding has become a well-known trend nowadays. Like Honor from Huawei, Poco from Xiaomi, Realme is no exception. Realme, which is an offshoot of Chinese brand Oppo, is launching budget phones under 20k considering young people in mind. Realme 1 had good performance, 2 had good looks, and now the Realme 2 Pro is trying to sandwich both of them. Killer in terms of its looks, with water drop notch, does it mesmerize with its camera? Hi there, this is Akhil from Fair and Square Reviews, and today I'm going to answer the above question with a detailed review of Realme 2 Pro's camera. The Realme 2 Pro comes with AI dual rear camera with 16 megapixel Sony IMX398 as primary sensor with impressive f1.7 aperture. The secondary camera is a 2 megapixel sensor housing an LED flash. Front camera is a 16 megapixel f2.0 aperture. It can record videos at 1080p with EIS and 4K without EIS. Overall camera setup sounds like a complete package in this segment. So let's find out how it performs on field. Starting with the camera samples from main camera, the results are pretty good and pleasant as long as lighting is sufficient. The focusing is fast enough and images have good details, sharpness and color balance. Even in artificial lighting conditions, the camera performed way better than expected. Only thing is that for some colors, it produced warmer tones like for this particular scene. The HDR mode works good, although there isn't much difference between the HDR and non-HDR images. Both bright and dark portions in the scene are properly exposed for most of the cases. Everything was going surprisingly well until this photography segment. Portrait shots is one such area where Realme 2 Pro really lost its edge. Its algorithm of detecting edges and background blur is not at all tuned like a Pro. It couldn't detect the edges properly for most of the scenes, and the background blur was mostly associated with over-brightened scenes in the non-focused areas. Even for objects at considerable distance from the background, the camera couldn't detect the edges. Realme 2 Pro should seriously work in this segment. The camera pair is smart enough to capture good close-ups or macro shots. There was no problem while focusing such tiny objects. Thanks for Snapdragon 660 for helping in fast focusing. Selfie department is also managed well by Realme. But as usual, like most of the phones, Realme 2 Pro also adds some beautification by default. Once again, the portrait mode from front camera fails to recognize edges and unnecessarily blurred the beard on my left cheek. As long as flash was fired, the images in night or low lights were noise free. But when flash was not fired, little grains started coming into picture, but that is but obvious and should not be worried much about. So overall, in night photography segment, Realme 2 Pro did fairly good job. One of the really cool things about the Realme 2 Pro is its 2x digital zoom. This is impressive when taking images from inaccessible areas. Even with 2x zoom, the details are fairly maintained. When capturing videos at 1080p with electronic image stabilization, I found little blurring while walking at normal speed. Dynamic range is good in both 1080p and the 4K mode. But the 4K mode, as expected, doesn't come with EIS, so considerable handshakes are recorded in the 4K footage. But the front-facing camera is good in terms of video recording, along with good microphone which captured voice properly. Hey guys, this is the front-facing camera of the Realme2 Pro. The front-facing camera doesn't support EIS, so you can see a little bit of jitteriness in this particular video. And this is a busy day, so you can have an idea about the ability to capture the surrounding noise from this particular camera. So let me know guys, what do you think about the overall sharpness, the color reproduction and the dynamic range in this particular video. The slow motion capabilities are not up to the mark. This may be because the Realme2 Pro is unable to capture high number of frames per second. So the video output is not very pleasant, neither smooth. So this is the gist of the entire video. Although the pros are good enough, the major concern is the portrait mode from both the front and the rear camera. This is possible to fix via a software update, but as of today, the portrait mode is literally messed up. What I feel is Realme2 Pro is overall a good camera performer considering its price range. Its fast focusing, good low light performance can attract anybody. But the poor portrait mode and slow motion video segment could be a deal breaker for many of you. I hope you can decide now if Realme2 Pro is real king or not. Do like and share the video, subscribe my channel for upcoming videos. This is Akhil signing off. See you again in the next video.